All right, like, the first question is Claudia's and Lestat relationship mother-coded or father-coded?
And is it heteronormative to ask that question at all? I'm Malanda.
And I'm Mariam. And this is the African Couch. So welcome to the second episode of the African Couch. And we're still on our interview with the vampire brain rot.
Yes.
So this episode we're focusing on the relationship between Claudia and Lestat.
Yes.
Which is like so important.
Yeah. Very pivotal in the show.
Yeah.
It makes the crux of everything.
Yeah. And so we just wanted to like get right into it. We're gonna reference the show, of course. We're also gonna reference some quotes that are from the Anne Rice original novels.
We came with info, with research,
with evidence. And we're also gonna reference a couple, radical feminist theory and books, all the way from Bonnie Burstow and Bell Hooks.
Oh,
so
we love Bell. Yes.
It's gonna be real nice. Ooh.
Stay tuned.
Okay. So, first off, where did you want to start?
I feel like we said, mother-father coded. What's up with that? Like, what does that mean for Claudia Lestat? What did you think they were? Mother-coded, father-coded? If you related to anything?
Yeah, of course. That was such a big thing. The main reason why I had the idea to do this episode is because of a video, a YouTube video about Interview with a Vampire that I watched. Yeah. As one does. And the title of the video is Trigger Warning, Typical Mother and Daughter Relationship.
I think I saw that one. Yup.
And can I just say that watching that video did something to my brain? Yeah.
I noticed.
By the way, the video is by No Context Lestat de Lioncourt on YouTube. So,
shout out.
Yeah, make sure to go and watch it because it's literally so.
It really points out things you've never seen before. But as you can see in the video, it does push this agenda that their relationship is mother-coded. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. And I think it's clearly like the person who made the video probably had that sort of experience. Yeah. But what really amazed me was the comments where people were like, actually, no. Lestat is like clearly father-coded.
I see.
And some people were like, no, Lestat is clearly mother-coded. And I also found myself like asking, is it heteronormative to even ask the question?
You ate with that question.
Yeah, because like it was crazy looking at gay men and wanting to put them into these categories.
These categories,
right? That are not there because they're gay men.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I also had my own thoughts. I was like,
yeah, because I did that too.
Yeah,
I did that too.
Yeah. When we think about them becoming this little vampire family, we see them as this sort of like nuclear family, and we assign these roles that none of them fit perfectly, but that they're also trying to fit in a way. All the way from Louis treating Claudia as his daughter but then his sister. The lines blur. And that's also why the family ultimately blows up.
Dysfunctional.
Yeah, before our eyes.
A little bit.
Just a tiny bit.
A little.
Yeah, so for sure. What were your thoughts? Did you see like him as mother-coded or father-coded?
I won't lie. When first viewing the show, I did put Louis in the father role with his moments of passivity when Lestat and Claudia were going at it, or when he like took Claudia out on the boat and actually had somewhat of a conversation with her, giving her his wisdom. But like as the series like kept going on and Louis seemed to get more and more like miserable with Lestat and without Claudia there because she left as well, I started seeing Louis as more of a mother figure. I think a funny comment the show made was like calling Louis a brooding housewife. And for that, I do agree to some extent. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. I think.
What about you?
Definitely To be like also perfectly honest, I saw the movie in a class, in college. So I saw an interview with the vampire, the movie with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. And in it, I think the parallels between Lestat, and Lestat was played by Tom Cruise, which he was actually good in it, which surprised me.
The two actors you mentioned to play that I was not, like, I can't unsee it now that I've seen it. So I'm just like, interesting.
And I think that in the movie, certainly, the allegories of, like, Lestat being a mother were much more clearer than in the show. I also think, they were trying to condense so many, like, I think, books into the movie. But it's very, very clear in the show. And because I remember there's a scene where Lestat, Claudia has been revived. And he tells her, "You're our daughter now." And she's like, "Whose daughter?" And he's like, "Me and Louis' daughter." You know? And he... it's very clear. Like, they're putting it in your face. And the show, like, the movie is so gay. The show is, but the movie for the time when it was made, and being such, like, big... Right?
When you said that, I was like, what?
It's actually quite...
I need to watch the movie.
And I think the maternal, aspects of this that are really, like, more pronounced. And then I saw that video by No Context Lestat. And it actually changed my brain. My brain chemistry. Because I was like, why am I...
Remember when we said over-identification with Claudia?
Right.
That right there.
Yeah. Because you could see it so clearly. And it was just the jealousy, the resentment in their relationship. Even if there was love, it always, centered and bordered on, Louis. That was their one thing.
Link.
And yes, and there was so much just resentment, right? And I thought the mother part so clearly in the silent conversations that Claudia and Louis have with each other that Lestat is out of. And he's out of them because he made Claudia, which...
And also made Louis, which is interesting.
Oh,
wait! I just thought of something. This is, like, literally off the dome. But, like, women, like, we create life. He made Louis, because, like, and then he made... Like, gave birth to, like, both of them. And wow. Hey! Lestat is mother.
Lestat is mother.
Mother.
Some other called it. And I remember, like, thinking about it, and it reminded me of a text that I saw about this phenomenon. And it's from radical feminist theory working in the context of violence. Which context of violence? I'm sorry, that's New Orleans, Lestat, Louis and Claudia. Oh,
we all saw that scene.
We're dipping there. And the quote is, and it's by Bonnie Burstow. The quote is, "Often father and daughter look down on mother, in parentheses, woman, together. They exchange meaningful glances when she misses a point. They agree that she is not bright as they are, cannot reason as they do. This collusion does not save the daughter from the mother's fate." And I thought that was, it did something to me, because as they attempt to kill Lestat, that same... I don't want to... I did watch a movie, y'all, and so I do know what happens, but I don't want to spoil it for Malanda.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything.
But the ones who know that does not save the daughter from the mother's fate. I'm about to start screaming. Anyways, the silent conversations, it all fits at the hands of the husband and the daughter. But I also thought, and I'm talking so much right now, but stay with me, y'all. Stay with me.
Here.
It fits the slave/slave owner dichotomy as well. Because to me, the killing of Lestat was akin to a slave rebellion. And the burning of the New Orleans house was, very similar to, the burning of a plantation house or a slave owner's house.
Shit.
And this happens exactly like that in the movie. Because in the movie, Lestat, Louis certainly is a slave owner. Lestat comes and joins him in the master's house. And the enslaved people realize these dudes are monsters or vampires. We need to do something. And they actually burn down the mansion, the plantation house. And when I saw that happening at the hands of Claudia and Louis, I was like, baby, we're there. We're there.
And rice. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey! No. Your mind. Crazy.
I saw it. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even think about that. Being honest. Wow. Anything else?
Okay. Yeah, And so in the end, I talked so much just to come up to the conclusion that Lestat is mother-coded.
Yes.
The relationship between Claudia and Lestat is mother-coded.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, no, definitely mother. I feel like there were many aspects of Lestat that I felt were mother-like. And, like, I feel even more, like, in my personal experience, but also talking with other people that they've had similar relationships. I feel like the relationship they mentioned, like, happens in, like, most cultures and can happen in any culture. But I feel like I won't speak on my experience, and what I've noticed is African culture. Hey, any Africans listen, it's not about you, okay? It's not about you. But I feel like in African culture, children are always the subplot. Like, kids are seen as a blessing because they will be of use later on. Whether that is company, like how Louis saw Claudia, or as ways to keep the man, Louis, in this situation, in the relationship like Lestat did.
Can I ask a question? Do you think that then making Claudia for Louis, Lestat was, baby trapping him or something?
And that, I really, girl, okay, I completely agree with that. I think for Lestat to tell Claudia to her face that she was a mistake and that it was never her, just goes to show how he only made her for Louis. And I think that's similar to how wives keep having babies so the husband does not leave her. And I've heard and seen the story pan out numerous times, especially in the African community.
Yeah, definitely. Can I just go back to the quote that you said, like, when he tells her, like, listen carefully.
Bro, speak that.
My infant death, it was crazy. Never you.
Because
listen.
The video, actually, that you talked about, bro, I never heard that. And I was like, I missed that. I really did.
The quote basically ended me. It ended me. It did something to me. Because Lestat, like, I couldn't even really wrap my mind around the pain that it caused, because Lestat in that moment fully destroyed the semblance of the family structure that they had, right? He held the beat up, bloodied Louis, and he basically severed his tie to Claudia. He was like, you were never important. You were never the first. You have always been secondary, and you will always remain secondary, and you're just basically a thing.
Isn't that wild to say to your so-called daughter? That's crazy.
And lucky, if we're honest,
but that happens. That's like very real, sadly.
Sadly. And
no.
Heart-wrenching.
No, because I remember her voice. She's just like, no, get me instead. And she said Uncle Les again. And he was like, Uncle Les now. Is right? After everything. And then
he fully destroys the family.
I think that really still shows that she did actually love them in some type of way. And there was love there. But then he really, I think the matter of the fact that he also brought Louis' head next to his to show as if they're both looking at her and being like, it was never you. It was never you. And I'm like, hey.
And it's like, even the reason why did Louis want to turn her, it was not about her. It was about his need for company and for care, and being able to say he saved someone in the ways that he was unable to save his brother Paul, for example, or his own family. And Lestat, it was just he didn't want to be abandoned by Louis.
Because shit was already hitting the fan. Like, they were not doing well.
No.
Like, Louis was tired of Lestat. He was tired of this shit right now and stuff. And then so Lestat did what he could. Did what he thought. And he's like, fine, I'll turn her. Fuck. And yeah, here comes Claudia. I think I also want to talk about another aspect of Claudia and Lestat's relationship. That is mother-coded, if you will. Mm-hmm. They have this je ne sais quoi jealousy and stuff. Or should I say, like, this need to, like, appease the man and thus neglect the child. Mm-hmm. When I was, like, rewatching the video link about, well, you guys don't know it, but yeah, the video that we were talking about in the beginning, I didn't even notice the scene when Claudia, Louis, Lestat were all drinking the blood of a man, and Louis was standing noticeably closer to Claudia. So Lestat roughly pulled Louis closer while looking at Claudia dead in the eye, as if claiming Louis as his. And it's like, why are you competing with your daughter, bro? Like, what? And stuff. And I feel like from personal experience, this neglect for the child is even more once the man is involved, is nothing new to African children. Yeah. And it just like Claudia, the mother expect us daughters to, like, serve as dolls, all for the betterment of the relationship. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know, when you talk about dolls, I remember hearing your thoughts about the Barbie movie, which, can I just say, you ate that up.
Did I? Because I was like, I don't know, I feel like I'm reaching.
You did, because yes, like, when we think about them, like using Claudia basically as a doll, like, they dress her up, they primp her up. You were completely right, like, in that instance, like, calling that out and saying,
You had a good one, a good comment.
And it's completely, like, I think we need to put the quote, I think, either in the accompanying. Is that a word? Accompanying?
I don't think so.
In the article under which we're, like, it's gonna be the podcast, but y'all see it under the podcast. We'll write down the quotes also. But there's a specific quote, which I believe is from the Vampire Lestat. And would you like to read it out, or should I?
You got this. You got this. You got this.
And it's from the Vampire Lestat. And in it, quote, "And I cannot say that even now I regret Claudia, that I wish I had never seen her, nor held her, nor whispered secrets to her, nor heard her laughter echoing through the shadowy, gaslighted room of that all-too-human townhouse in which we moved amid the lacquered furniture, and the darkening oil paintings, and the brass flowerpots as living beings should. Claudia was my dark child, my love. Evil of my evil, Claudia broke my heart." End of quote. And that's Lestat, right, in the Vampire Lestat.
Yeah. That, I think, and you know, I read that quote, and I don't remember that from the show or anything, so maybe that was, like, in the second season, or
maybe
movie.
It's about to come.
Or something, but when I read that, I was like, I guess it does imply that Lestat, in his own way, loved Claudia, or at least the idea of Claudia and what she can do for him. And I was like, that kind of made me sad too, because it's like, it also kind of humanizes him in a way. Like, Lestat, and it's like, dang, even though you love her, it's never enough because of man, because of Louis.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's the tragedy really at the core of Claudia's story, is that both Louis and Lestat love her, but it's never enough. They will always choose each other over her, or something else, or someone else, if they're not in the same, because let's be honest, Louis and Lestat, if they're in the same room, they're choosing each other. But if there's even just another person, like she's never first.
Yes.
And really,
and she really, I think it's even heartbroken because she really thought she
right.
Hey, like you said, that one quote he really ruined everything, like, cut it all off. He said it was never you.
And there's so many quotes, especially in the book, in Merrick, another, like, book in the Vampire Chronicles, in which, like, allusions to dolls are so clear in relation to Claudia and who she is.
Yeah.
And you had really good thoughts about that.
Yeah.
But just the fact that they keep, treating Claudia like a doll, and they keep. I think it's Lestat who keeps giving her dolls.
Yeah.
Especially dolls that look exactly like her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really wanted to hear your thoughts again because they're so good.
Well, I mean, I just feel like in our previous first episode, we talked about Claudia being a tool, which she is. But I wanted to hone in on the continued use of the word of doll because Claudia and Lestat, they both make numerous callbacks to dolls, and in our previous episode, the first episode, we talked about Claudia being a tool, which she is. But I just thought, I think when you brought up that the doll factor, I was like, oh, doll is the better word, just because I feel like both Louis and Lestat already took away her humanity, and then, but even further, they want to take away who she is as a person, her being and stuff. And that's why we mentioned dress and primper and all that. And I think I really like that one quote you mentioned. It was about her skirt or something.
Oh, in the show.
Yeah, in the show.
What episode was it? When basically they're looking at her from the car, and she's wearing this pleated skirt, and he's and the set's I don't like that skirt. And Louis like, it's chiffon. It has movement.
Yeah. So it's they're kind of playing, if you will, playing around as you would with a doll and stuff, and they don't realize that she's quite literally another creation, which usually is how it happens with children. And and that
even though she's staying in the body of a child,
she's
not a child. She's not a child.
Yeah, she's not a child.
Yeah,
sis is growing, has her own mind, went through her own experiences, and I think it's interesting because Lestat is also always belittling, Claudia, kind of dumbing her down or something, being what do you know, as you would a child, but also a doll, if it had nothing, it's just plastic, and that made me think of that one part where she was I want to make peace, Uncle Les, and then she brought sheet music and was playing the piano with him, and when she was trying to give an idea or something, and she said it was something about an idea and a gift, and then he immediately was if it's a gift, or if it's an idea, then that means it must be a small gift, which basically is
her ideas are small.
Yeah, and I was dang. And that's so mother coded. That is so mother coded.
I think I remember seeing a meme of and they use Lestat and Claudia when they're picking out the coffins, and basically the meme was me at my funeral, and then the mother saying, "Is that what you're wearing?" And yes.
I over-identify with that one right there. Yeah.
I was ooh, this is hitting a little too close to home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
And definitely, I fully agree with you, because since they turned her as a child, I think they keep seeing her as a child and treating her as a child, and they don't see her as an actual being who is equal to them. Yeah. And
I think that is so relatable, or prevalent now, even because I just think children are most vulnerable, and they're the easiest to mold and stuff, and so just parents in general, they kind of, I don't know, forget that their child is also their own autonomous being, and has their own thoughts and stuff, and they just kind of try and create this perfect, I don't know, kid,
and
just a doll.
Claudia, compared to other vampires, Claudia is set up from the beginning, because we know that vampires, they remain in the form that they're, turned in or killed, essentially in, and Claudia is turned at such a young age. Even in the show and even in the movie, they age her up a bit, but she's turned at the age of 5.
Yeah.
Right? And even in the show, she's turned at such a young age. She has no true human experience to talk of.
Right. And then when she gets turned, it's just like, we're family. And you're like, what?
What's happening? She has no real human experience to talk of. She's not even... So she was still growing, and she's in this sort of like arrested development phase. And there's no thought is given to who she is. No empathy is given to who she is. She I think you clearly see in both Lestat and Louis remnants of their humanity, remnants of their human life.
Yeah.
And especially of the emotional wounds they sustain in their human life.
For sure.
But Claudia is essentially empty. She was robbed of that.
Right.
And she was robbed of that by her so-called vampire parents. By her so-called family.
Yes. And then they also, in case in point, never try and explain anything until it's too late. Or things like, ooh, that scene when she's
kind of lost.
Yeah.
She's just like, she's not gonna be fully accepted as a vampire because she's not even a regular vampire. She's this vampire being who cannot, change other people because she's still a child. And she doesn't have these true human attachments because she was turned so young. And she's basically just this floating particle out in the world. And there is no thought is really given to what she's feeling and who she is. And there's just this focus on her actions and like... Yeah, and I think a lot of the shock I had at the lack of empathy given to her character came from that. Because I was like... Yes, she's acting in this way.
Yes, she's a mass murderer.
Yes!
Yes, but...
Yes, she tries to kill Lestat. Like, that is the only possibility throughout all of this. Yes, she's gonna try to kill Lestat.
Yeah.
And people were like,
she's so spoiled. Oh my god. I'm like, bro.
Brain dead text. Brain dead text.
Yeah. She couldn't even play with actual children because she's sleeping during the day. Like, there's just so many things that were put on her and that she had to deal with. Remember when Sis traveled the world and got SA? Like, Sis, she had to learn all the things. She tried to turn people herself and learned that she couldn't and stuff. And they read her diary. It's just this, like...
And they kept lying to her.
Yeah, never explaining.
When you grow.
Oh,
when they knew damn well she was stuck in that form.
We'll find one in your size. It's like, that's... I can understand why.
Of course. And she was so... You can see her. She's so desperate for connection. Desperate for a companion. Because even in the family structure where she's at, she has no true companions. And Louis...
She tries.
We're talking about Lestat. But Louis... Louis!
Hey,
mon Dieu.
Is it still dumb bitch juice? Or...
I think it's the fact that you see him loving her, but it's never...
Yeah.
It's never enough.
That word, it's just never enough.
He always will put somebody, like...
That last scene. No, because like...
Oh my gosh.
You're reacting right now. That last episode, when you see the truth of what happened after Claudia took the pen with Lestat's blood, we thought it was all, they were going away.
Yeah.
When really, I still don't know the full story because it's probably in season 2. Bro was choked her, put her against the wall, like was getting mad at her for killing. It's like, it was never you, baby.
It was never
you.
You.
So sorry.
Like
that hurts.
And that's heart-wrenching. It was never her. Oh my gosh.
Not me about to tear up. Like, that's a lot. Yeah. Hey.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I feel like, yeah. Well, I don't know if you It's okay. All right. Now, on to the heteronormativity of it all.
No.
That question.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I'm just gonna say my opinion. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I do think that it is heteronormative. I thought it was like interesting how we like you said, 2 gay men, and we automatically were like, we didn't think, oh, these are 2 gay men. We just went and said, yeah, one's mother, one's father, and stuff. and one needs to be that and stuff. Like, we have to put them. I was just thinking, like, also, we've been reading All About Love by Bell Hooks. We've been reading it together. By the way, we're trying to, eventually we'll bring in book clubs and things like that if y'all are interested. But yeah, we're reading All About Love by Bell Hooks, and she, like, in this one chapter talked about, like, child rearing and, like, basically saying, like, okay, you single mothers, like, or, like, single people, like, it's fine, they can raise children, but it's better to not do it alone. Like, they should have other people. But she also reiterated that it doesn't have to be, like, just, like, it doesn't have to be mother, father. It can be auntie, uncle, brother, sister, like, grandparents. Like, it doesn't have to just be this whole, like, very rigid gender roles. Like, it can be anyone. And I honestly agree with that, Like, I feel like in our families, in our African culture, it's said that it takes a village to raise a child. And I agree with that wholeheartedly, truly. And, I really think that you just need an adult with sound body and mind.
Yeah.
That is not Louis and Lestat. Very much not that. So, it makes sense. But I do think it's a little heteronormative that we were just like, mother-coded, father-coded. But, I mean, it makes sense. This is how we're raised.
And the heteronormativity is also, I think, is baked into the story. They are, okay, first of all, they two gay vampires in the, like, it started in 1910s all the way into, like, these are people that either have to hide their true identity, but even in when they try to create this sort of, like, family, they recreate a heteronormative family. They recreate a nuclear family. Yeah. 2 parents and a daughter, and a child. And so I think it's, like, very clear why we read these characters into these very heteronormative ways, because I think it's also, right there in the text, in the show. And that's due to the, like, intense homophobia, the main character, this black Creole man, this black Creole Catholic man goes through, alongside this, like, I don't know how old Catholic, also French, white. He ain't white, he French.
Catholic. That's crazy.
He ain't white, he French kind of guy, right? Like, these are people who cannot, freely create something new, create a new family structure that best, serves them. And I think essentially that's why Claudia is made. She's made as just a balm for their emotional wounds, and they try to recreate this thing that they no longer have, right? This family that they no longer have, that they only understand in these very heteronormative ways. And it blows up in everybody's face.
Quite literally. No, because at first I was going to say, like, oh, did they? Like, were they acting like maybe we're the problem, Like, we're the ones putting them in these roles. But now that you said that, even just that skirt comment again, she felt like they very much put it out there that this is the way they're gonna operate as their gendered roles, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Poor Claudia,
Yeah.
Poor Claudia.
And what's also very, like, clear is that, like, the roles, I think, in some ways, switch around and change. Like, Louis is passive and sort of, like,
it did switch,
right? In a way that we think of really as father-coded, but also in his relationship to Lestat, he takes more of a, like, he's supposed to just stomach the fact that Lestat is unfaithful to him. Yeah. In a way that's very wife-coded. He's even described as a brooding housewife, like, just like you said. And we see Lestat, it switches because, of course, I think that's the beauty of, like, seeing queer characters on screen. Not me being unable to stop.
Screen.
I
also like screen. Very cute, very demure, very mindful.
Very, demurtsy. But just like just seeing these, I don't know. I think it's just like queerness, I guess. Even just like having some of these characters be black in the show, it allows you to see, you know, sort of like, I don't think I'm gonna make sense, but like the
low-key,
yeah.
I'm a little lost, but I'm here.
Like the marginalized spaces, and it's like so fun because you get to deconstruct, you know, society in like in a way that is like so. It just makes me. I want to like bite on something. It's just like I sound crazy.
No, but like, yeah. There's so many layers to it. And I feel like, I don't know, it's like people claim you need the father there, or like the daughters of single mothers have fatherless behavior, which I feel like some people can even apply to Claudia. And just this need that we have to categorize. We have to put them in, you know, mother, daughter, and all that. Yeah. So many layers.
Definitely.
But I do think it's heteronormative. What do you think?
It is.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Same page.
Definitely.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Alrighty. Not the and then the hands together, just rubbing the hands together.
They don't know that though. See,
I'm feeling unsafe.
I'm
feeling unsafe.
Anyways, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much. If you've listened all this way, I don't know how many minutes. Like
y'all are MVP. Truly.
Honestly,
like
y'all are the ones.
Cause getting through all our screaming and all our jokey jokes, I hope y'all laughed. Anyways,
thank you so much for tuning in and listening to us ramble. About, once again, Interview with the Vampire.
I hope you related or didn't relate. You know, it would be also bad if you related. So you know, but like
I don't relate at all.
I hope you can understand and have your mind opened up. But yeah.
All right.
Bye. This is the African Couch.
Yo.